Hey, what's going on, guys? So, if you haven't heard, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered is now free on PlayStation, so anyone can play it for free now. Kind of makes me mad because I bought it 2 years ago, paid like $70 and got the bundle deal with Infinite Warfare, and I hated Infinite Warfare. But I love this game because this is like for all the kids out there that love Fortnite and people that are playing Fortnite religiously, this was what I played like that when I was a kid growing up. About, 13, 14. This is really my first uh, addiction, I would say, because I was 13 or 14 years old playing this every single day. Of course, I'm talking about the original Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, and me and my buddies would all play this game. So I know this game inside and out, like the back of my hand. I could tell you I know most of the spawn spots on each map. I know the maps, like, with great detail. I know all the guns. They did add some new guns. I'll just show you what I'm talking about if you haven't ever played this. See, they added some guns here, but you can't use them unless you unlock these things right here, these items. You get these items through, it's kind of like a Call of Duty World War II. In order to get these guns, you have to unlock each one of these things. And let's see, I got two of them unlocked. I have this one unlocked. As you can see, I've unlocked all the items necessary in order to unlock it. I want this one here. I've picked it up and used it, and it's a really good gun. This one's a good gun as well. I've actually got a video on my channel of me using this gun. The only thing I do not like about this gun is the reload speed. Unless you have sleight of hand, it seems like it takes longer than any other gun to reload, which is a bummer for me because, that's more time you have to spend not killing people. So, yeah, I'm going to walk through what I feel is the best classes. I want that gun too, by the way. I'm only one thing away from getting this one. It's a SMG that I really like. Oh, I do have the sniper rifle. It's not very good. This one is basically the intervention, as you can see. It's basically the intervention from Modern Warfare 2. They just called it something else, the attack aggressor. Um, these right here are pretty good. That's also from Modern Warfare 2. They put them on here, the Rangers. And this, like I said, the fully automatic shotgun. But what I'm going to do today is walk through the best classes to use on the game, and I have some of them already set up. I did change that one. I think I had RPD on here. Um, I don't really use this gun, but I'll tell you the reason I have this class is because I have two extra classes here. So normally, when you first start out, you would only have 5 slots. I've prestiged twice, so I have 7 slots. So this is basically for like domination or ground war or team deathmatch of some sort, where there's definitely going to be a chopper or maybe multiple choppers, and it's good to have this class that you can switch to whenever there's a helicopter, because a helicopter can wreck your game on Modern Warfare Remastered. Of course, there's only 3 kill streaks on the game. There's the UAV, the airstrike, and the helicopter. The helicopter being by far the most dominant one. The airstrike, you can get anywhere from 0 to like 3 kills usually. Usually you're gonna get 0 or 1. But now with the RPD, I like to put it on there because you can, it gives you more ammunition to shoot down the chopper. Also, as you can see, I have RPGs times 2. That way you have 2 RPGs. It does take 2 RPGs to shoot down a chopper. You have to hit it twice. The best way to do this is if you'll if you pay attention to the chopper, it will stand still for 5 to 10 seconds periodically, not the whole time, but it will stop every now and then and stand still, and that's when you want to shoot it. I mean, you can, of course, you can try to shoot it while it's moving, but you're more likely to hit it when it's standing still and you're close to it. But let's say you only have 2 RPGs, so let's say you hit it with 1 RPG. Well, that's not going to take it down. That's why you have the RPD. And actually, you don't even have to have RPGs. It's just it helps a lot with taking down choppers to hit it at least once with an RPG. But if you do not hit it, or if you hit it once, you can finish it off with this. You can basically unload an entire clip, and that does severe damage to the chopper. So that's why I have this class. Now, you can use this as a regular gun. Once you get 75 kills and you can get the foregrip on it, this becomes a really badass gun. And of course the red dot, but I recommend the grip. If you can get the grip, 75 kills with this weapon unlocks the grip for it. You can attach it and it makes it, see down there, it adds 10 to the accuracy, which makes it a deadly gun because you don't have to reload it every time that you kill. So that's a really good gun for like domination, ground war, team deathmatch, or any kind of like objective game mode, demolition, stuff like that. That's a pretty good gun to use. Now, with that being said, you don't have to use the RPD, of course. You can. The same thing applies with the M60 and the M249 saw. The M249 saw is more accurate than the others, but the damage, as you can see, drops 35 points. So it shoots faster though, so you shoot more rounds per second than the RPD, but your damage is lower. So as long as you hit them with every bullet, it doesn't really make a difference. But if you're missing, then it's going to take more shots to kill them. The M60 is good. However, look at the rate of fire at the bottom of the screen here. The rate of fire drops significantly, so it shoots a lot slower. The damage goes up and the accuracy goes up just a little bit, but you're shooting less bullets. So and I have noticed that without the grip on this, it's very wild. I mean, it bounces around from side to side, up and down. It gets all over the place. But if you can get the grip for any of these, they become deadly, even more deadly. My favorite of the light machine guns is definitely the RPD though. Now, that's primarily for shooting down choppers though. I don't really use that because I don't play a whole lot of domination and ground war. Every now and then I will, but not always, not a whole lot. If you are going to use an LMG, you want to use deep impact for sure. And the reason you want deep impact, this is probably like my second most used perk on the game. And I recommend this perk almost always. And it gives you deeper bullet penetration, so you can shoot through materials, walls, cardboard, plywood, metal, and stuff like that. So you don't necessarily have to be able to see all of your enemy to kill them with this perk. So it helps you. It helps you in the long run get kills through walls and stuff. You might see an enemy and he might be behind an object, and if you do not have this perk on, you can only hit the enemy where there is not an object. So if it's just got his head poked out and you don't have this on, you have to shoot him in the head. Usually, unless it's a very thin material, it will not penetrate that material at all. So that's why I always use deep impact. Depending on the circumstances, I might use like extreme conditioning if I'm using a shotgun, or because with a shotgun you don't really have to worry about that. It's one shot. You have to be right up on them. Usually you can get, it helps you if you can sprint, search and destroy every now and then. I'll use extreme conditioning for that. If I'm going to like rush plant, like if I want to rush to the bomb site to plant, I might use that on a class. I wouldn't put it on every class. That's good for, I guess, kill confirmed would be a good reason to use that also, if you want to, if you're focused on collecting tags. Um, but yeah, pretty much. I see a lot of people that use Martyrdom and Last Stand. Generally speaking, if you're playing against people that have, been playing the game for a while, they know about these things. Like Martyrdom, it makes a sound whenever you die. You drop a live grenade when you die, but people can generally hear that and avoid it. The only, there's certain cases where you would use Martyrdom. Like kill confirmed is the best scenario to use Martyrdom because they have to pick up your tag, and a lot of people generally kill you and then they run immediately towards your tag to pick it up. And then, of course, if you drop a live grenade, it's going to kill them. In that case, you would probably use Martyrdom on one or two of your classes. I definitely wouldn't put it on every class because generally you're not going to get a kill with it. Every now and then you might. Same thing with Last Stand. Last Stand, it's going to drop you down to Last Stand instead of killing you immediately. But when it drops you down, the only real chance that you have to kill somebody is if you have a Desert Eagle and you're already looking at the person that downed you. Otherwise, it's useless. It's just all they got to do is put a couple more shots into you and you're dead. And you're going to die anyway. It doesn't keep you from dying. It just gives you a chance to shoot back at them one last time. But, I mean, if I'm playing against somebody and they go into Last Stand, I just keep firing. I don't even stop. I just shoot them till they're dead. So Last Stand, I really wouldn't recommend that, especially over a perk like Deep Impact, because you're going to use Deep Impact on every single interaction where you're shooting somebody. With Last Stand, you're not. You might get sniped across the map, drop down into Last Stand, then you have to sit there for 10 more seconds. You can't really do anything, and then you die. Um, Iron Lungs is probably like the most useless and less used perk in this game because it's for people that want to hold their breath for a longer period of time when they're sniping. So it's only for certain situations. But as soon as you shoot, you lose your breath anyway. So that's really something that nobody really uses on the game. Now, eavesdrop, that's another one that's also pretty much useless. You hear the voice chat of your enemies nearby. Generally speaking, there's not that many people talking on here, and the ones that are talking aren't talking often about what's actually going on. You'll hear a lot of background noise and just extra crap on your mic. The only time this might come in handy is search and destroy, when you're playing against people that are definitely talking. And then you might be able to hear what they're saying. But without, it's usually useless because most people aren't really talking. Now, if you get into a game of search and destroy and you see that other people on the team are conversating back and forth and so on, you can put this perk on and you can hear what they have to say. That is, of course, if you're willing to sacrifice Deep Impact and if you're willing to sacrifice Extreme Conditioning or anything like that. Now, Dead Silence is a really good perk for Search and Destroy. It's also really good for like free-for-all, because if you're playing against people like me that have Turtle Beach headsets, they can hear every move you make once you're within, like, say, 50 feet of them. And it's really easy for me to hear people and tell where they're at before they even get there. So I'm planning on permanently unlocking this once I prestige again. You don't get it until a level 44. This is a really good perk for search and for free-for-all. Those are the two game modes I would recommend it. Everything else is going to be so loud that they're not really going to be able to hear. I mean, if there's a chopper or if there's airstrikes going off, you can't really hear when that's happening. You can hear in between, I guess. But if there's a whole bunch of gunfire and talking and stuff like that, it doesn't really make a difference. Now, that's just the RPD class. I like to call that my chopper down class because that's what I use it for primarily. Let's start with the best gun in my opinion, on the game. For most general purposes, it's the M16A4. It's a 3-round burst semi-automatic, medium to long range. It's really good at close range also. It's not ideal at close range, but it is really good all-around gun that even the newest player can throw on. You unlock it as soon as you can create a class, you have it. So this is definitely one of, if not the best gun on this game. And the reason why is because it's 1 to 2 shots and you kill them. And usually it's a one-shot kill. Every now and then it might be 2, and it may be 3 only if your enemy that you're shooting at has Juggernaut on, which gives them extra health. And that's, annoying. Everybody knows that's annoying if you've played this game. But 2 to 3 shots is not bad. And this gun is the fastest to kill you. So if the guy you're shooting at has an AK-47, yes, it does have higher damage, but look at the accuracy and look at the fire rate. It shoots less bullets. This shoots like doom 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 back to back to back. So 1 to 2 shots and 1 to 2 trigger pulls and they're dead. This is by far the best gun on the game in my opinion. So I would definitely have a class with this in it. I'm not saying you have to use it every game. It's, in my opinion, it's definitely the best gun in most game modes. I use it in Search and Destroy with a suppressor on it. But generally, if I'm not playing Search, I will use a red dot sight on it. It makes it super duper easy. I don't put any kind of reticle on it. You see all these goofy reticles like this? Look at that. That just blocks the entire person. You can't really see what the hell you're shooting at. This right here is like, what the hell? You're shooting at the thumb, I guess. Most of them are dumb. That one's not too bad. Every now and then you'll get some that aren't ridiculous. That one's kind of hard to tell what the hell you're shooting at. That's not as bad, but still, that one's okay, I guess. That's a better one. That one's kind of okay as well. But some of these are ridiculous. Like, you can't even, like this right here, that's really hard to see. Some of these are just dumb like that. That's when I see people using that, I'm just like, damn, that has to make it harder to actually see what you're going to be hitting. So I just use a basic reticle. That one's a pretty good one. Eagle Eye, the blue, that one's pretty good. I can't really complain about that one. I tried to use this one because it looked simple, but the color of it, the yellow, kind of blends in with the background on here, so I just prefer the basic red dot. It makes it a whole lot easier to see. You know exactly what you're going to be hitting. So this right here is exactly how I have it when I use it. The Blue Tiger, this is the standard Blue Tiger. This is not the camos that you unlock. Like, as you see right here, I have different camos that I can unlock. Some of them are corny like that. Some of them are girly. And some of them are pretty cool. Like, that one's pretty cool. That one's pretty cool. That one's too white for me. I kind of like that one. But yeah, if I can get Blue Tiger, like the standard traditional Blue Tiger, I think that looks badass. Red Tiger, I haven't unlocked it yet. You can't really see it on there, I don't think. Yeah, it won't show you until you actually unlock it. You can get gold if you complete all the weapons challenges. But anyway, enough about camos. I don't really give a shit about camos. This is by far the best gun on the game. Now, if you're going to use this gun has multiple options that you can use as far as perks and stuff like that. Is what you put on it. Of course, the Desert Eagle is the first thing I permanently unlocked. Not saying you have to, but it's definitely the best pistol on the game. 2 to 3 shots and they're dead. Look at the damage on this gun, on the stats at the bottom. Look at the damage compared to like these guns. It's definitely the strongest. You can same thing with the 44 Magnum, but you don't unlock it yet. Now this gun right here might actually be a really good gun, but the range on it is horribly low. So you would have to be right up against them in order to kill them. The M9 is a very good gun. It's accurate. The USP 45 is a really good gun as well. The reason you would use these is generally you can put a suppressor on them like this. So, you know, when you're playing search or when you want to be quiet, you can just slap a suppressor on those, whereas with a Deagle you can't put any attachments on it. But I use the Desert Eagle. Starting out with you, if you're just starting out and you don't have the Desert Eagle, I would use the USP 45. That's completely up to you. All three of these are decent pistols. Some have more ammo than others, but they're definitely good. The M9 has more ammunition, so people generally use it if they don't have the Desert Eagle. So you have more ammo. You don't have to reload every 10 shots or whatever. Now, with the tactical grenades, I used the flash grenade, and I'll tell you why. So the flash grenade actually physically blinds the enemy. It turns their entire screen white, so they have no idea where they're at, what they're looking at, what they're shooting at. They can move as normal, but they can't see anything. It's solid white. Whereas with the stun actually makes them move slow. So it basically turns their sensitivity down to 1, and they can't really move, but they can see you. So if you're right in front of them, they can still shoot you and kill you pretty easily. This is only good for like if you're using a shotgun or an SMG and you're trying to get closer to them. This will freeze them, and they can't really move. So it allows you time to get to them, and they can't really move. So you just go around towards the side of them. You can kill them. But generally I'll use the flash grenade because it blinds them completely. The smoke grenade, I use it only in search, because search and destroy, when you spawn, a lot of times they're sniping at the spawns. Like each spawn will snipe at each other back and forth, and this is a good way to make sure that you don't die immediately in search and destroy. So you just throw a smoke as soon as you spawn to block their line of vision. That allows you to get by the spawn point where you're vulnerable of getting sniped. That's usually what I use that for. It's also a good deterrent or distraction. But I only use that for search and destroy generally. Now, bandolier is definitely useful in this game, if you're any good at all. I use bandolier in every single game mode on this game except for search and destroy. And the reason why I don't use it in search is because you have a limited amount of time each round, and then you respawn with full ammo. So you don't really need it in search and destroy, but every other game mode, you're going to need as much ammo as you can get. There's no scavenger to pick up ammo or anything like that. You can pick up other guns, I guess, but if you want to keep the M16, of course, you want to have as much ammo for it as possible. That way you can go on kill streaks and get a chopper and so on. So bandolier, that's why I've permanently unlocked it, as you can see. It gives you plenty of ammo so you can get that kill streak and get your chopper. You aren't going to unlock bandolier, I think it is, till level 32, or no, level 20 something like that. Maybe it is 32. So if you don't have that, most people generally use special grenades times 3. That's where it'll give you either 3 stuns or 3 flashbangs, where I showed you earlier. Now, that's typically all I would use. Of course, I have the one class that has RPGs in them, just to shoot down choppers. The RPGs are not that good on this game. They're very inaccurate. They're very hard to kill people with unless you just, they're standing still and they have no idea you're getting ready to shoot an RPG at them. Unless you're shooting at a car or something, that's about the only way you're really going to kill somebody with an RPG, usually. and they shoot very slow. It's really hard to, reload them and everything without dying. The C4, if you're really good with C4, you can use C4. Most people aren't though, and you can't throw it as far as you would a grenade or a flashbang or so on. Now, if you're playing Search and Destroy, you can use C4 to plant near where the bomb site is. That way, as soon as they plant the bomb, you can explode them with C4. And you do that by double tapping square. You'll see a lot of people that will actually run around with a detonator. Like they have no weapon out. So if they see somebody, they're going to die because they're running around with a detonator waiting for somebody to come by their C4. All you have to do is double tap square with your gun and it explodes it automatically. So you don't have to run around with the detonator. A lot of people don't know that still. The claymores are good. They're not as great as you would think. You have to really set them around like corners where people are going to be coming around. They don't have a wide explosive radius as far as their kill zone. I use them only in search or if I'm sniping. That's generally the only time I would use claymores, is if I'm playing search and destroy or if I'm sniping. Bomb squad, only use it if I'm playing search and destroy. And I only put it on one class usually, and it's usually like my rush class. Like if I got the bomb, if we're trying to plant, then I'll put it on bomb squad so that way I can see. I don't want to run into claymores or C4 and die instantly. But bandolier is definitely the best perk one on the game, so if you can get that, that's what you want to use. If you don't have that unlocked yet, you start out with this special grenades ×3. That's what I would recommend. Frag ×3, yeah, it's overrated in my opinion. Most of the time you just throw 3 grenades. Most of them don't kill anybody. Every now and then you might kill somebody, but I generally wouldn't use that unless you're playing like an objective like domination or hard point or something where for a fact a bunch of people are going to be running to a certain spot. That would be handy, I guess. But definitely I would put bandolier on. That's the best perk. I would use at perk 1. Now, this is probably the most used perk on the game for me, and it's very simple. It gives that you would get 1 to 2 kills. That is if you have stopping power on. If you do not have stopping power on, it's going to be 2 to 3 shots every single time. If you have this on, however, you can shoot them once and it can kill them half the time. This is what most people use on this game. It's if you're playing regular standard modes, like regular team deathmatch, regular search, regular free-for-all, you want to use this. If you're playing hardcore, anything, then you don't have to use this. You can use anything else that you would like to use. But definitely put stopping power on. There's not really anything that you have that's better than that in regular game modes. Now, I was talking about hardcore. Some people will put Juggernaut on in hardcore, but it really doesn't do as much as it normally would. Juggernaut is better in standard, where it takes an extra shot or two to kill you if you have Juggernaut on, but at the same time your bullet damage is not as well as somebody that has stopping power on. So you're gonna have to shoot them more and they're gonna have to shoot you more. That's just the best way to put it. If you're really not that good at the game and you have a slow reaction time, like somebody usually sees you before you see them, then I could see why you would use Juggernaut. Personally, I never use it. The only time I would ever use Juggernaut is if I am using, like, say, a shotgun, because you have to be right up on them. So that gives me a little more time to get closer to them and a little more time to actually hit them with the shotgun. That is one reason why I would use Juggernaut. You could also use it on the M16. It's going to take 2 to 3 shots to kill somebody. But I generally use stopping power because it's 1 to 2 shots. Sonic Boom, there's really no point in that. I mean, most people never use Sonic Boom. You know, this is higher explosive weapon damage, like grenade launcher, frag grenades, I guess. You know, claymores and C4. But you only get 2 claymores. You only get 2 C4 in the game. Each spawn. So once you die, you get it back. But generally speaking, you're gonna end up having to shoot them more to kill them, and you've already used 2 explosives, which may or may not have killed anybody. The UAV jammer is only good for hardcore and search and destroy. That's really the only reasons you would ever need UAV jammer. Um, you know, put it in search and destroy, but it's going to take more for you to actually kill them. You know, more ammo, more hit markers for you to kill them. But you know, when somebody gets an enemy, the enemies get a UAV, they won't know where you're at. So it's like a risk reward type thing. Hardcore mode, I would only use this, to be honest. In hardcore mode, you do not need stopping power at all, because the bullet damage is already increased so much. It doesn't really give you any extra benefit to have that. It doesn't like help you anymore. So use UAV. Either use UAV jammer or sleight of hand or double tap or something like that, or overkill. Use one of these 4 right here if you're playing hardcore mode. I generally would use this in hardcore mode, or this. Sleight of hand is really good in hardcore. Faster reloading. See, you generally want to get in the habit of each time you kill somebody, reload. That way you never run out of ammo to shoot at somebody. You have a full clip to shoot at somebody. So get in the habit, each time you kill somebody, reload. If possible. Obviously, if there's 2 people in front of you, kill both of them and then reload. Sleight of hand, I never put it on because I'd lose stopping power. But hardcore, this would be a good perk for you. Double tap is basically just increases your rate of fire. It can have the same effect as stopping power because you're shooting more bullets. So you're hitting them more faster. But if you miss or you're not very accurate with a certain gun, then it really doesn't do much good. And you don't want to use this on like shotguns or sniper rifles because it shoots 1 bullet per trigger pull. So it doesn't really help you. This is only good for fully automatic weapons. Overkill is only good for hardcore. Because most people what they'll do with this is they'll put a sniper rifle and then like an assault rifle. So that way you have a sniper and an assault rifle. But it weakens the sniper rifle to the point where it's basically useless. You have to shoot them 2 to 3 times with a sniper rifle to kill somebody. So it's in hardcore it makes sense. In regular it does not. So I would recommend stopping power. So there we have the M16, bandolier, stopping power, deep impact. We went over all of those. That's why I have the class set up exactly like this. Flashbang, Desert Eagle. So that's the M16. Now we went over all the perks. I'm glad we got that done. The MP5. For the best submachine gun on the game, they start out with is the MP5. I put a suppressor on mine just because I, want to have a suppressed weapon that I can use. I'm not seen on the radar every single time. Of course, you can put a red dot on there. I would never put an ACOG on an SMG. Do not put an ACOG on an SMG because you're using a weapon that is designed for close range, and you're trying to put a ranged scope on it. You're not going to be able to snipe with this thing with an ACOG on there. And it's going to limit your vision for close range combat. So you do not want to put an ACOG on an SMG. That's just bad. I generally either put no attachment at all or I put a suppressor on it because I like the iron sights. You can use a red dot, but I generally like the iron sights on it. They're really easy to use. Just like that right there. So I would definitely have a class with the MP5 on it. probably it's definitely the best SMG that you have on the game. And you start out with it automatically. Now, with SMGs, everything is exactly the same. The only thing that you really need to change, it's up to you. I don't even change it. You can put a stun on here if you want. I don't. And steady aim, you can put steady aim on here. It increases hip fire accuracy. So you don't actually have to aim down sight. You can just fire as soon as you see somebody without even aiming. And the pattern, the spread pattern is small enough to where you're accurate with it at close range. You can either put steady aim on there, only with SMGs, by the way. That's the only one that really benefits a whole lot from this perk is the SMGs. If you don't put that on there, definitely go with deep impact so you can shoot through materials and stuff like that. The M4 is a really accurate gun, really good gun, fully automatic. The damage is low on this gun. Look at the damage down there. It's low, but it still gets the job done because of the accuracy, the range, the fire rate. All three of those are really high. So you end up shooting them a lot in a very short period of time, and they're very accurate. So this is a really good gun to use in like team deathmatch, even free for all, or basically any game mode. It's like the M16, you can use it in any game mode. It's just going to take more hit markers to kill them. But it is very accurate. It's good for long range, medium range, and even short range. And just like the M16, everything I have is exactly the same. Bandolier, stopping power, deep impact. Now, I said the MP5 was the best submachine gun on the game. The AK-74U is a very, very close second. This actually has more damage, I believe. Yeah, look at the damage on this SMG. It's very high for an SMG. I don't think it's as accurate or shoots as far as the MP5, but it's very, very good. The AK-74U is very, very good. And yeah, I mean, there's no complaints with this gun. This is definitely the second best submachine gun on the game. Some people even like it more than the MP5. That's completely up to you. You'll just have to use both of them. But as you can see, everything's the exact same. Bandolier, stopping power, deep impact. Now, I'm getting into sniper rifles. The M40 is the most accurate sniper rifle on the game. Other than like the S-TAC Aggressor, which you have to unlock. But yeah, the M40 is probably the best sniper rifle on the game that you start out with. Unless you unlock like this gun here. So everybody uses this one. Not many people, almost never see anybody using this Dragunov. It takes like 2 shots, even on standard with stopping power. The accuracy, look at the dip in accuracy. You know, it drops down low. The M21 is okay, but it definitely takes 2 shots unless you hit him in the head. It has almost no recoil, but you have to fire it rapid fire basically to kill him. The M40 is a bold action though, and pretty accurate, and generally a one-shot kill. The R700, it only has 4 rounds in the clip. That's the biggest problem with this gun. This gun is really good. It's just the lack of ammo that you have. You have 4 rounds and you have to reload. So for that reason, I don't really use the R700. The Barrett's good. It's almost always a one-shot kill with this gun. But the recoil on it is insane. It kicks back a lot. And it's not very... look at the accuracy dip compared to the M40. It drops 20 points in accuracy. It does do more damage. You can shoot, you know, higher fire rate. But it has a kick to it. And, yeah, it's not as accurate. So the M40 is what most people use. I have a kit on mine. That's why mine looks so badass. With this, I'll put a smoke grenade on there. Every now I might actually put a flash on there. It just depends. Smoke is basically to get me out of trouble. If you're sniping, you don't really have a really good line of defense beyond your pistol. So the smoke will just give me room to get out if I need to. Now with this class, you can either have bandolier that gives you plenty of ammo to use when you're sniping, or you can use claymores. That way you can, hide out in a building and you're, looking at, team deathmatch and stuff like that. You don't want anybody to flank you or get in behind you while you're trying to snipe the other team. So you'll use claymores. But deep impact is a must on this. You definitely want to use deep impact while you're sniping. You definitely want to use stopping power while you're sniping. Otherwise, it's not a one-shot kill. If you don't have this perk right here on with a sniper, you're not going to kill him in one shot unless you shoot him in the head. That's the only way. Shotgun. This is really one of those that's like completely up to you. Because I don't really use the shotgun a whole lot. Every now and then I will. Right now I have the M1014 on. It shoots 4 shells, semi-automatic. And for that reason, I have it. Just because you can shoot 4 rounds like bam, 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 bam. With this one, it's a pump shotgun, so it has a little bit of a weight for you to pump in between shots. But it has a higher damage, so if you hit them with it, if you're accurate with it and you can hit them with it, it generally will kill them in 1 to 2 shots if you're close enough. With this one, it might take an extra shot, but you have that. You're like bam, bam, bam. This one's like bam, bam. So that's the difference in the rate of fire on them. That's completely up to you. With this, as you can see, I have a different loadout almost entirely. I should have stuns on there since it's a shotgun. I want to be able to slow the enemy down, not just blind them, but I want them to be able to not move. Now, you could put, this is one of those where you can really change it up because the shotguns have a high damage already. You can change it up. You can put stopping power on it to increase the likelihood that you'll kill them with 1 shot. Or you can put Juggernaut on there. Or you can put Sleight of Hand on there. That's the 3 I would recommend. Either stopping power, Juggernaut, or Sleight of Hand. The reason I have Sleight of Hand is because I only have 4 shots. So that means I'm going to be reloading a lot. So that's why I have Sleight of Hand. That way I can shoot off 4 shots, reload them like nothing, and then have 4 more shots. Extreme conditioning, I have that on there. That way I can run longer and get closer to the enemy. And that's your shotgun class. And yeah, that's the best classes on the game, generally speaking. This definitely being the best one. I'm going to show you some gameplay here in just a second. But I'm going to show you my combat record with each of these guns here. Now, here you can see my best gun is the M16. Look at my kill-death ratio. 1.58, which is decent. At least decent. 21% accuracy, which is really good for a assault rifle. That's not a single shot. That's really good. 101 headshots, 1,202 kills. That's really good. The MP5, which I said was the best submachine gun, 1.11 kill death ratio, a little less accurate, but still a good gun. The M4, 1.04. Actually just started using this recently. That's why it's not as high. But it was like 0.85, and I've got it up to 104 in like just in today's time, or in the last couple of days anyway. So the M40, you're usually going to be around 1.0, somewhere in there. You're generally going to have as many kills as you do deaths with the sniper rifle, unless you're just really good at quick scoping and really good at sniping. This is a really good gun as well. I didn't really go over this one, but this is actually my highest kill death ratio. It's the G36C. I haven't unlocked it yet. That's why I haven't showed it to you. This gun right here, I would put it in place of the M4 carbine. So once you have the G36C, take out your M4, unless you just really love the M4, If once you have this gun right here, you want to put it instead of the M4. It's really good damage, pretty accurate. Put a red dot on it or a suppressor on it, and it's really good to go. As you can see, 1.83, that's really good. 19% accuracy. The P90 is decent. It's not as good to me as the MP5 or the AK-74U though. The AK-74U, 1.64 KD, which is really good. AK, I'm at 1. So this is the difference between the AK and the M16. 1.58 with the M16. 0.99 with the AK. The RPD, it would be better if I had the grip for it, but I don't. So since I don't have the grip for it, it kicks around a little bit. It's not as accurate. That's why I haven't used it a lot. Only 148 kills with it. The XMLAR 2.03 KD. That's really, really good. But I just unlocked it, and I didn't really go over this gun because you have to unlock it. You know, it's not one of those guns that everybody gets. You have to actually physically unlock certain things in order to get this gun. This is a really good gun. The biggest problem I have with this gun is the reload time. It takes forever to reload this gun. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you some gameplay with these classes. That way you can actually see for yourself how good they are. So I'm going to jump into free-for-all. That way it's just, you know, everybody I see, I shoot. Oh, we're on shipment too, so this is going to be a really fast round. This is not a very good indication of the gun. Just a heads up, it's an insanely small map.
Free for all.
See, look right there, he spawned right in front of me.
Let's do it.
Wow. Even had to jump on that guy, and he got me. We're off to a rough start here. Oh, we spawned up. So this is a bad map. Look at this.
UAV recon standing by. Our UAV is online.
I'm about to die.
UAV recon standing by. Airstrike standing by. This is our last chance. Airstrike standing by. Helicopter support standing by. underway. UAV recon standing by. Airstrike standing by.
Alright, now we can actually try them out. We'll show you the M16.
Free for all. Take no prisoners, comrades.
Two shots. Wow. One shot.
UAV recon standing by. Our UAV is online. Airstrike standing by. Friendly airstrike on the way.
See if I didn't have deep impact there, I wouldn't have cared.
Standing by. Our UAV is online. Airstrike standing by. Friendly airstrike on the way.
Alright, I'll show you the, maybe the MP5 or one more gun.
Now get this shit on. Anyone ever tell you you're a right pain in the arse? You don't want to piss that off. How much you want for it?
See, look at that crosshair. It's a steady aim.
UAV recon standing by. Our UAV is online. UAV recon standing by. Our UAV is online. Airstrike standing by. Friendly airstrike on the way. Helicopter support standing by. Friendly helicopter on the way.
Damn, what's up with the shotgun, man? Look, everybody's using a shotgun.
Enemy helicopter approaching. We're losing this fight. UAV recon standing by. Our UAV
Well, there you have it, guys. I showed you a few guns. I showed you the M16, the MP5 a little bit, the M4, the AK-74U. I would have used the MP5 a little bit more, but the map we were on, Countdown, is not a good map for that gun. You know, if it's a big map like that with a lot of, flat, narrow spaces, then you generally want to use a medium to long range gun like the M16 or the M4 like I was using. So the map definitely has an effect on each gun that you use. I don't want to use the MP5 on like Overgrown or anything like that because that's a horrible map. Um, Ideal would be like inside, like Vacant is a good map for an SMG, either the MP5 or the AK-74U. If you're on a map like that where it's close quarters combat, a lot of corners, you're inside or a lot of buildings, then yeah, you would be good with that. Hallways and stuff like that, you'd be good with that. But if you're on a map like Crossfire with a big street down the middle, or if you're on a map like Overgrown or Pipeline or Countdown like we were just on, then you would definitely want to use something like the M16 or the M4 or assault rifle. You could even use a sniper rifle. I don't ever use a sniper rifle in free for all though, because it's really hard to use a sniper rifle in free for all when you have people coming from all different angles. In team deathmatch though, if we were playing Countdown in team deathmatch, I would have sniped probably either that or the M16. But the map definitely has a bearing on what gun you use. Like that, people were using the shotgun on Countdown. That's generally not a good idea because it's such a big map. But as you can see on Countdown, everybody's in those buildings. Nobody is really ever in the middle, like running around with the missile silos. Everybody's generally on the edge of the map in Countdown. And, you can tell, like, by the spawn points and stuff where everybody's at. I could go into some breakdown on like, spawn points and where's a good spot and, you know, stuff like that. A lot of people get pissed, you're spawn camping. And you'll see me doing that from time to time. Like, you saw me on Strike, and I was up on that balcony and I was looking down through that window. That is a spawn point. That's why I kept looking through that window and Strike with the M16, because people will spawn there and then I can see them through that little window and shoot them right then and there, right through that window. It's a spawn point. You can call it cheating if you want to call it cheating. I just call it, mastering the game, because I know this game so well. I know where it places players. I know where the spawn points are. I could show you a few of those, but then everybody would be doing it, and you're gonna get people are gonna be pissed off at you. Sometimes people get mad at me for doing it, and I don't. It's not like I sat there the entire game looking through that window, as you saw. I was moving back and forth a little bit, but you want to find a good spot where people come from, and it's not just one spot all the time. You might have two different angles, like on that balcony. It's a good vantage point on Strike, because you can go to one end of the balcony and you can see one side of the map and the street and that building across from you, and you can see that side of the map, and then you can go to the other side of the balcony and look through that window and you can see that side of the map as well, and that street and everything like that. So that's a good spot on free-for-all. This is only for free-for-all, by the way, and I'm talking about these spawn points. This only works on free-for-all, what I'm describing to you. I could show you a few of those. Let me go ahead and do that. I'll do it really fast so I can switch maps back and forth. Like my classes and stuff here, it doesn't really matter because I'm not shooting anybody. But like, let's see if I can find a good one. I'll go to backlot. I'll put it on free-for-all and just start it. I'm going to show you, there's one real good spot here that I use sometimes. But it's really unfair. I'm not even trying to hide it. Like, it's definitely you're spawn camping. And I'll show you right fast where that's at.
Free for all.
So we're a little bit away from it, so I'll just run over there real quick and show you where it's at. So, like I said, this is only for free-for-all. So I've showed you the classes, the perks, the guns. Now I'm
Let's
showing
do
you
this,
some of the
Marine.
tricks to the map. So where I just spawned at is one of the spawn points that a lot of people will spawn at. Every now and then somebody will spawn in there, but not often. Generally, most people won't spawn there. So we'll run over here. This is a spawn point back here. A lot of times people will start out right here, or right here, somewhere in here. This is where people spawn, somewhere in here, in free-for-all. And if you come right here beside this tree, this is in free-for-all again. I'm gonna quit. Maybe I'll quit saying it after like the 5th time. But if you sit right here against this tree right here, and I'm crouched right now, but you can stand, crouch, go prone, whatever. You want to line up this corner, like this wall right here, or this doorway. You want to line it up with that end of that piece of metal right there. So like this right here. See how I got that lined up? So you just basically stay right here at this crease in that wall back there. You can go prone, make it harder. But the thing about going prone right here is if they run too far and swing out wide and get behind this wall, you can't really do anything. You have to get up and move. So I like to stay crouched, like right, and stay back as far as you can get, depending on the gun you use. Sometimes, if I'm using like the MP5 like I am right now, I want to be closer. But if you're using like the M16 or something, so you can scoot back a little bit. But line up like right here, and you can just stare like this right here. And when somebody dies, it'll spawn them back there at that spawn point that I showed you, and they'll have nowhere to go except run around that corner. And as soon as they do, bam, you got them. And just stay right here, just keep reloading. Now if you have a headset and you can actually hear pretty good, then you'll hear if anybody's coming around this corner right here. That's the only spot you really have to worry about. And sometimes people will come from like this way. They'll like run up like I'm about to do right now. They'll just come up here because they know you're there. After you killed a few of them, they know you're there. So they're going to come like wrapping around. They're going to come up this street right here, and they're going to know you're in there. If you got a headset, you can actually hear them, and you know they're coming. When you know they're coming like that, that's when you want to move a little bit. You want to just back up along this wall. You know, you don't want to sit right here by this tree. That way they can come around and boom, they know exactly where you're at. You just want to back up to this corner. You can even come left. You know, you can even come wrap around where you actually see them first. And they usually aren't anticipating you doing that. They think you're going to be sitting here like this right here, because that's how you killed them. So when you hear them coming up, running down the street right there, you know, you just slide down. You know, you want to keep aiming. You don't want to turn your back to them. You want to like this right here. And just keep turning until you see them. And that's a good way to do it. But generally, the spawn point's right over there. They'll come around that corner and you blast them. And you can hear them also. Same thing with coming around this corner. You'll hear your left side of your headphones when they're coming around that corner. When they do that, you just aim right there. And you can actually move in farther behind this tree, so that way if anybody does spawn over there at the same time, they generally can't hit you, or they can't see you to hit you. So you just slide in. So you know, you want to maneuver in this little circle right here when you need it. You know, when there's people coming to your left, you want to slide in behind this tree and bam. When there's somebody spawning or you're just waiting for somebody, you want to be like lined up with this wall to that piece of metal. And when somebody's coming up the street like that, you want to slide back and kind of wrap around a little bit. And that's that one spot right there. I'll show you a couple more on different other maps. This is, like I said, just for free-for-all. Not team deathmatch, not anything like that. It won't work. So there's one like that on Bog. I'm going to show you that one. Bog is a map like that. Let's go ahead and... crap, I didn't mean to do that.
Back again.
I'll show you this spot on Bog for free-for-all. And this one really pisses people off because they literally spawn within 5 feet of them. So you notice where I'm at right now. This is a spawn point, but if anybody is in front of me, if anybody's like standing over there at all, or standing right there, or anything from this wall straight across, if anybody is in this zone right here, nobody's gonna spawn right here. Nobody will ever spawn here unless this is clear. From here over, it has to be clear. Now, if a guy's like standing right here and he's like shooting this way, somebody could spawn right here. But only if you're on this side of that wall, like you can't see them. Or if somebody's at the tank right there, like somebody's standing at that tank, then somebody could spawn right there. So you have to watch out for that. If you're like hiding behind this tank, shooting down this way, or looking over this way, then more than likely somebody's going to spawn behind that wall right there. That's really there is one spawn point behind this wall. You have to watch out. It's the same concept. Somebody could spawn. It's like on the other side of where I'm aiming at right now. Somebody could spawn there. Now I'll go ahead and show you. That's not the good spot I was telling you about. That's just a spot that you need to be, you know, cautious of. The spot I'm talking about is this spot over here. Okay, this right here is a spawn point where I'm standing at. It's somewhere in here, you know, facing this way, exactly how I'm standing. You'll spawn like this, right? And then generally most people will run around like this. That's what 90% of the people do when they spawn like this. They run around this corner right here and they start looking down this way, or they start looking out here. But you want to get right here in this corner right here behind this crate, and you want to crouch. That way you're not seen all the time. Because the one thing with this spot that you do have to be worried about is somebody coming around this end here. If anybody comes around this end, and especially if they're far out there, like beyond that fire, if they're like beyond that, behind that, they can get you if you're standing up like this all the time. But if you have headphones and, you know, a good headset, you can crouch like this right here, and you'll hear when somebody moves. And as soon as they move, you just want to pop up and bam, right there. Or, you know, if you don't have good headphones and you can't really hear that well, you can still look this way. You want to get like as far back as you can get and up against the crate. So like right here, I'm all the way back in this corner, and then I want to push a little bit, just a hair, till I get to this corner right here. And you want to like just look right here. Now people will spawn right there where I showed you at in that corner. They're either going to come out this door that I'm looking at, or they're going to wrap around. When they wrap around, they have to go around that corner. So you're going to catch them. That's what you want to aim, not in the center, but like right here. See how I'm aiming as close as I can get to that edge of that border of that door? That right there is where you want to aim at. As soon as they spawn, just pop them. And usually with it, like I said, the M16's a one-shot kill generally. So it's literally one pop, they're dead, reload, one pop, they're dead, reload. And what I like to do is I like to pop them, drop, reload, stand back up, pop them, drop, reload. Just like that right there. Like I said, you just have to be wary of these people over here. So what I like to do is I like to alternate. I like to look down here. If I don't hear anything for a minute, I'll drop, I'll turn, and then I'll stand back up, look over here. If I don't hear anything, I'll turn back, and then, you know, you'll hear them generally if they spawn, but you won't be able to hear anybody out that way. So you want to kind of, you know, in between people spawning right there in that corner, you want to kind of look out this way, you know, and be wary of people coming around. You don't have to worry about usually anybody behind this wall. It's just people coming around this corner, people way out there that see you from a distance. That's the people you got to be worried about. But yeah, people really get pissed about this too. Especially, it only works in free-for-all, like I was saying. But you'll spawn like this. Now that guy's right there. He's literally right there. So you don't see him unless you absolutely know he's there for a fact. And even if you do, like say I just spawned, that guy just killed me, and I just spawned in the same spot. Well, I'm going to try to kill him. I'm going to do this. I'm going to peek around, and by this time, he can already see me. You know, I can't see him yet, but he can see my shoulder. My right shoulder sticking out. He can pop me. before I ever even get to him. And he could be crouched also. So if he's crouched, I might not even see anything but his head like that right there. And that's really all I can do. A lot of people, you know, will spawn right there too. That's a very hot spawn. It's not like that one I showed you on backlot is not so hot. Every now and then somebody will spawn there, but not like repeatedly. Right here, you can win a game of free-for-all just in this spot and never move. And all you have to do is aim right there and pop them. Now, every now and then, you're not going to kill them first shot. They're going to run around sprinting. They're not going to jog or walk. They're going to sprint like this right here around this corner. When they do that, you might hit them once, and it might just be a hit marker. Well, they're going to get hit right here. And then at this point, you can't really see them. But they know you hit them. They know you're there. So they're going to run. They're either going to turn and look like this, or look out this window, because they think somebody's out this window. Or they're going to run back. When they run back, it's easy picking. As soon as they run back, bam, they're dead right here. Because you see them from there. They're dead. They don't know if you're there. They don't know if you're here. They don't know where the hell that came from. They just know they got shot in the back. Now, if they're slow, if they're just creeping around like this right here, trying to figure out where the hell it came from, they still generally aren't going to do it. Aren't going to see you. Now, if they know for a fact, then you still got a good shot on them from right there. That's a really good spot for free-for-all. Alright, let me see if there's there might be one or two more I could show you. Ambush. There's a good one on here that I recently discovered. Now this one is only good if you're using the M16. I mean this spot right here is M16 only. You don't want to use any other really any other gun. You can try it. I wouldn't recommend it, but it works best with the M16. Same thing, just in free-for-all, as far as I know.
Let's do this, Marine.
So notice where I'm at. This is a spawn point right here where somebody's going to spawn at. Another really hot spawn. This is a hot spawn. A lot of people spawn here. We'll be like right here or right here, somewhere in this area behind this trash can. They generally won't run that way. You know, 90% of the time they're going to run this way. They're going to go either behind that, or they're going to run this way, try to go up there, or something like that. That's generally what they do. Every now and then they will, but not a lot. So what I like to do in free-for-all with the M16, I like to come over here, and there's this little shed right here. And it's perfect for a spot, like a spawn spot. And you don't, if you get farther back, you're lower. Like there's a hump right here, and you can't really tell it by looking, but notice how, like when I walk up, you can see it elevates just a hair. Like look at that Jeep corner right there. Watch how it goes up. There, it goes down. See? It went down just a little bit. So I like to stand right here with the red dot on my M16, and nobody can really hit me from this way. Nobody can really hit me through that building, through this shed. So you stand like right here, and people will literally run right out here in your sight while you're aiming, and you can pick them off like this, just like this. 1, 2 shots, usually 2, sometimes 1. You can, and you want to aim right above that junk, right above that trash can and that Jeep. You don't want to aim way up here where you don't want to aim like that. You want to be like right above that stuff, like I am right now. And you can generally pick them off. Once you hit them once, they know you're shooting at them. They're gonna stop. You know, that's a big mistake. If they just kept running, you probably wouldn't even get them. But they don't do that. They generally stop and turn and start looking for you and try to shoot at you. Unless they also have an M16, they're not really going to hit you. I mean, unless they're a really good shot and they have M16 and really good reaction time, it's really hard for them to kill you from there. So you got the jump on them. They ran right into your sights. You're firing at them first. You hit them first before they even know what the hell's going on, and you can pick them off right here. Now, like I said, if you have a good headset like me and I have Turtle Beaches, anybody that tries to come from this way, you know it. So what you want to do is you want to be the first one to the point of contact. They're not going to be anticipating you coming around this corner. So when you hear somebody running up on you real close like, you want to just pop around like this. You want to pick them off. Like say they're running around, bam, got them right there. If you hear them coming, that's not just, you don't want to periodically look over there or anything, because that leaves you vulnerable to anybody over here. So you only want to do that if you hear them coming towards you. Like say you're looking down here, they come running around that corner, you hear them coming, so you just pop out, get them. And I like this shed here because it's a good reload spot, or good if you got an airstrike, or if you got a chopper, you just bam bam, say I got a 7-kill streak, I'll pop in here, reload, call in my helicopter, pop back out, just like that. And you know they can't even see you from there. Now every now and then, after you've killed somebody several times from this spot, they're going to spawn right there, and they're going to try to come around this corner right here. So you want to use, your peripheral vision, and you want to, keep an eye out for anybody coming around here. It's a pretty good indicator. It's pretty easy to see. Now, if they do get the jump on you, if anybody does come around this corner and you see them, but you know that they seen you first, you want to just pop inside here, and then as soon as you pop inside, let them shoot, waste their ammo, whatever, or let them run low if they're still shooting. If they're not shooting, just pop back out and pop them. This is why I said the M16 is the best gun, because it's 1 to 2 shots. You literally, like, they could be shooting at you with an AK or an M4 or an MP5 or something. It's not really going to be effective. You just pop back in, pop out, 1 shot, 2 shots, dead. They're dead just like that. I've won plenty of games of free-for-all, like from this very spot where I went 25-5 or 25-3 and so on. Just pop them. Your general line of sight's going to be right here. They're going to run right into it. Every now and then you'll have somebody try to come up here because they know you're here. When they do that, you just pop around and you catch them first. You want to be the first one to shoot. So you pop around the corner and you shoot them. You want to keep your line of sight right here, but you also want to be checking periodically on that left side right here. So when you see somebody come around like that, you want to fire a shot like that, come in here, and pop back out and shoot them a couple more times. That's generally how I do it on this map on Ambush with the M16. Let's see, is there any more spots that I know of? Countdown, you probably saw where I was on Countdown. You basically door watch on Countdown. I mean, there's no really other way. It's what everybody does. You'll hear these people bitch and complain and say you're camping. Literally everybody on this game camps to a certain degree. It's just a matter of what degree they camp. On Countdown, though, like 90% of everybody is camping inside one of those hangars. And that's why I was showing you want to get behind those boxes, stare at the doorway, wait for them to come around. People will try to come through the big bay door sometimes, but it really doesn't matter. You can generally kill them there too. Crash, there's not really a good spot to watch on Crash. There is one, I guess, decent one on free-for-all that you can watch. It's that building. I'll show you right fast. No, well, yeah, I'll show you right fast. It's not really a spawn glitch spot, like a vantage point, like I was showing you on Strike. It's similar to what I was doing on Strike earlier in Free For All. And I'm going to jump in a couple more games after I show you these spots. See if we can actually show you, live in gameplay what it's like.
Free for all.
So I spawned pretty close to the spot. I'll just run over there and show you right fast. Notice where I'm at. Notice where I'm spawning at. This is a spawn right here.
Let's do this, Marines.
Another spawn that I've noticed is like right in here, or right here, or right in here, right here. That's a good one. This one right here is. People will either spawn in here, or in there, or behind where I started at. Every now and then somebody will spawn right here, but not often. Nobody ever spawns over here, right here, or anything like that. So a good vantage point for free for all. Again, I want to use the M16. Generally use the M16 for these spots, unless they're really close, like bog was and stuff like that, and like backlot. But right here, this is it. It's pretty simple. You have to be on the lookout. The only spot you're really vulnerable is right in there. People in those windows with snipers or M16s, they can get you, or M4s, stuff like that. They can pick you off from right there. That's about the only spot you really have to worry about. But I like to jump up on this ledge right here and crouch. I'm still behind this wall. I don't want to be like sitting my ass way out here on the edge or anything. I want to be kind of like back, like on the other side of this, like right there. And people will spawn. There's a spawn point right on the other side of that building in that crease. They'll spawn right there. They'll either run that way or they'll run this way. You can generally, if you got an M16 or a sniper rifle, you can pick them off as they're running, or at least get a hit marker, like right where I'm aiming. You'll just see body run by. You pick them off. You hit them or you'll kill them, one or the other, and they'll run down. Now, if anybody decides to come through there, they can't really see you because of that ladder right there. It's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky for you to see them too because of that ladder. But if I stand up, I can clearly see them. Just stand up. If you stay crouched, they can't. Just stand up, pop them, drop back down. You can pick them off as they run by there. Every now and then somebody will wrap around this corner and start running up this street, like right up here. When they do that by you, they don't even know you're here because of this wall right here. So they don't see you. When they do that, you just bam, you got them. But I don't like to sit right here the whole game. This is not a good spot to sit the entire game. You want to kind of move between the spot I'm in right now. You can bam, bam, bam. You want to move from here to over here. And remember those spots I showed you in the beginning? Well, you can stay right here and you can generally see them. If they run around like from back there, you can pick them off right there with the M16 pretty good. If they go up on that balcony, they don't even think to look over here. You can just pop them on right there, move behind that wall, reload, pop back up. Just like this. If they're on, that's only if they're on that balcony right there. If not, pop right here, just wait, just stand right here. Now from right here, that window that I was telling you you're vulnerable right there, they can't even see you right here. So you're not really the only one that's going to get you. It's real easy to just look down and shoot. Either that or they come up through the stairs right here. If you hear somebody coming up the steps like that, then you just want to turn like this. Your back's against this wall, just turn like this. As soon as they come around that corner, you got them. The ladder, almost nobody comes up that ladder. Every now and then they will, and then I'll move over here, jump back up here, look down this way, pop them, or I'll hear somebody come around, pop them, and then I'll run back over here and do the same thing, and just repeat that. Just repeat that. And every now and then you just want to check in, make sure nobody's over here in those windows, run back, just like that. And that's the spot on Crash. Crossfire, I don't really know a good spot on Crossfire for that. District, no, I don't really know a good spot on that for District. Downpour, not really. So I don't know if my broadcast is stopped or not. It says it's still working. Got a little message that said it's not good enough. Actually, I do know a good spot on Downpour. I'm gonna show you a spot on Downpour right fast. Same thing with Daybreak. It's the same map. It's just one's daylight, one's raining, one's not.
Free for all.
This is a cold spawn. Like, you almost never spawn where I'm at. Like, almost nobody ever spawns right here. I mean, every now and then, rarely, you might spawn here once or twice the whole game. But generally, nobody spawns right here. You want to go, I'm going to show you the spot. I really only know one good spot right here. It's in this building. Alright, so you probably noticed a lot of people do this. This is not me. This is not my thing like a couple of the others are. I just know the maps, so I know where the spawns are generally. So, right here's a spawn. I'll go right here and show you where this spawn is. This is a hot spawn, meaning a lot of people spawn right here in this corner right here. A lot of people will spawn here. And then when they spawn here, you have nowhere to go except behind this building. This is the only, you can either go this way or you can go this way. That's the only two ways they can go. Almost nobody even goes back here. I mean, every now and then somebody might, but not often. Like 95% of the time, they're going to run this way. They're either going to look down that way or they're going to look this way. That's what I do when I spawn here. First thing I do is I look towards that door to make sure nobody's there, and then I'll slide down this wall like that, and I'll look to make sure nobody else is running out in the open or anything like that. And once I see nobody's there, I'll check right here again. Nobody's there. I'll run, check one more time, make sure nobody's coming that way, and then I'll come in here. So this is the spot. A lot of times you'll see people sitting right here. This is not the ideal location, because then you're vulnerable. You can look this way and wait for somebody to come in that door, but then somebody can just, you have a wide turn. Notice how wide I have to turn all the way over here just to see. Or if I'm looking here, I have to turn all the way over here just to shoot at somebody. They could easily come through that other door and pop me right in the side, and I don't even have enough time to turn. Same thing with both sides. So what I like to do is come like right here, and I'll slide down in that door, that hallway down there. You see that? Right there. So every now and then people will come running through that hallway. And when they do, they have, I mean, once they come, make that turn and start coming in this way, you just pop them right there. You just want to slide to where the only thing you can see is really that door, that hallway and that door right there. So you want to pop one, you killed somebody right there, you want to slide this way, crouch. Don't really want to ever really be standing up in these spots. Generally, you don't want to stand up all the way. You're not going to be running around a whole lot. You crouch is what I usually do. So I'll pick them off, say I'll kill somebody right there, I'll slide this way immediately, and then I'll look right here. Somebody will spawn, they'll come around that corner, pop them, reload, slide back down here. Wait a second. Maybe I don't see nobody, so I'll come back over here, start right there, bam, slide back down here. See somebody, pop, reload, pop, pop, reload, and that's the spot. That's pretty much it. I'll show you one more on this map. It's not as good as that one. That one I just showed you is a pretty good one. A lot of people use that one. It's not just me. You know, a lot of people will use that one because they know about that. But let's say you're on the opposite side. Let's say you spawned over here. Hold on, let me put my cigarette out here. Alright. Right over here, in this corner right here, by this tree. Crouch, like I said, or you can actually stand up right here. Doesn't really matter right here. And people will come around this corner of this building and pop them. You'll usually try to run to this little shack right here where that door is. You can usually get them before they get there. Even if not, you just see them running. You see their head right there and just pop them. You want to slide from here to, like, if you know for a fact that somebody ran through there and you missed them, you want to slide down to like right here and be watching for them to come through there. If you see them run by but they don't come in that building, then you want to slide like that. You want to, you know, watch them right here, and you can catch them coming around. But you also have to slide the other way, because somebody could be coming from here. Somebody could be coming down this way. If you hear them coming from that way, then you want to just aim and slide. You usually catch them running right by that car. You'll catch them right here, or you'll catch them right there. Then you slide back, and that's the other spot on downpour. Okay, what other spots do we have? Overground, I'm trying to think. I don't really know. Oh, there is one spot on Overground for free-for-all. And I'll show you that right fast. It's just one spot. It's pretty easy. It's the definition of camping. I mean, there's no really other way to put it. It's not a spawn spot, but it's a really hot spot that everybody seems to go to. I'm pretty close to it already. So notice where I'm at. This is a spawn point. A relatively hot spawn point. A lot of people will spawn where I'm at.
Take no prisoners, comrades.
But the hot spot where I like to go in free for all, you can do this with an SMG or M16 or M4 or shotgun even. I would recommend SMG like what I got right now, but you go right here, crouch behind this crate, and you're looking like right here. You're looking right here. You want to get as close as you can get, but you can only look down so far. So this is as far down as I can look, is right here. So you don't want to be like I am. You know, you want your crosshairs to be like right there, you know, as on the edge. That way they can't see you and you can see them. You'll hear people coming. You'll hear them, and you'll see them come up the steps before they even have a chance to turn around. You don't even have to aim. You can if you want. I don't. If I'm having SMG, look how small my crosshairs are right there. You just pop them like that right there, and generally you'll kill them almost every time. And they'll just keep coming. Like they know you're there. You might see somebody that tries this little deal right here. Well, it's really hard for them to kill you like that. I mean, they can come up there like this right here. That's probably the best way to kill you, but most people don't do that. Most of them will run like this and then try to turn. That doesn't work as well. If you do that right there, you're dead. The only way they can really get you is like that right there. And that's only if you're sitting there. You know, if you're sitting right here, then that might work. But what you have to do in the spot on free-for-all, you're looking down here. Let's say you don't hear anything coming, so you don't think anybody's getting ready to come up the steps or anything. You want to periodically peek over here, and just make sure nobody's coming through this hole over here. Because people, once you kill enough people, they might try coming up that ladder. They know you're up here. And they might actually get up here. Let's say you're distracted, you're killing somebody right there. And in the process of doing that, they've come up the ladder and they're like right here coming towards you. Well, you'll hear them. You want, like I said, you always want to be the first one at the point of contact. So you'll hear them, you'll shoot, you'll reload, and as soon as you do that, you want to come around here and blast them, catch them. Now, if it gets real slow, usually it won't. Usually you can literally set like this right here, and you can kill people like the whole game coming up these steps. And you can, you know, slide over, and every now and then you might catch somebody coming up the ladder. But if it gets real slow and you don't hear anything, then you can always come over here, look out this window. Of course, this is only good if you're using like an M4 or an M16. SMG, like for me, trying to shoot somebody in that barn is not going to work really well. They're probably going to kill me. So with an MP5, I'm not really going to kill nobody unless I'm just a damn good shot with an MP5. Like, you have to do it like this. That's really the best way to kill them at that range. You can do that, or you can pop up here, you'll catch somebody running around, like right there. Or you'll catch somebody in that barn, usually. But generally, 90% of the time, you're going to be sitting right here. Now, with that being said, once you've killed so many people right here, everybody's going to know where you're at. So whenever people start trying, like, getting really close to killing you, like when somebody comes up there like that, then what you want to do is you want to slide, you want to move, you want to come down. What I like to do is slide down like this and kind of peek over like that. You know, crouch still. Don't stand up, but crouch like that. And then you'll shoot them before they even get to the stairs. You'll shoot them like right here, or I like to like literally sit right here and watch them from coming in. That way, if they do, I can pop them, or you can just hit fire them like that right there. If that's not good enough, you can literally drop down like this under the stairs and wait for them to come around. You can either knife them, or you can hit fire them. They'll be so concentrated on trying to kill you right here, they're not even gonna check right here. So when they do that, you just knife them, or you can literally hit fire them right here, and you can kill them trying to come up. Of course, you don't want to stay right here too long, though. This is not a good spot for a long time. You just want to switch it up. You don't want to sit right here too long, and you don't want to sit right here forever. You want to stay right here most of the time. Kill a few people. Say you even get a chopper right here. That's completely fine. Once you get that chopper, maybe slide down to like right here and wait. Kill 2 or 3 of them like right here, and then maybe move back up. And that's how I generally do it. Because you got to be on the lookout for people that get up here, though. You don't want to just assume nobody's up there. Each time you go up here, you want to check like right over in there, make sure nobody's there, check over in here, and then crouch, and then look down. And that's the spot for overgrown. Of course, like I said, all free-for-all. This does not work on anything but free-for-all. And I probably have a couple more to show you, and then I'm going to jump into a game and see if I can actually demonstrate what I've been telling you so you can see for yourself. Pipeline, not really a good map for it. Yeah, generally not a good map for it. Oh, wait, there is one spot on Pipeline. I'll show you. It's good for virtually any gun, but ideally for an M16 or an assault rifle. The M16 works for all these spots. That's just, like I said, it's the best gun on the game. And we'll say the M16 or any assault rifle would be ideal in the spot I'm about to show you. There's really only one spot in free-for-all in Pipeline that's as good as this one.
Take no prisoners, comrades.
And it's in this building right here with the MG. So what I like to do in free-for-all is I'll come up here, and you don't want to get too close to these windows all the time, You always stay crouched. Don't stand up, because then people can pop you from every angle. So stay crouched. See, they can't really see me from the ground. The only ones that can really see me is like people at the door. So there's a spawn point right there, and there's a spawn point way back there. What I like to do is come right here. You'll catch people spawning right there and like running this way, or they'll run like right here and they'll be shooting at somebody over here. You just pop them, or they'll be running. You'll pop them, or somebody will spawn back here. And usually the first thing they do is try to run this way, so you can see them come around that, pop them, or you'll see them come through this door right here and get them just like that. But you want to switch up. Once you kill somebody from back here, you want to swap over to here, because there's a spawn over here by those tanks. They'll be coming around this corner trying to get to this side. So what you do is you center here, they'll come around that corner, pop them, switch over here, you'll check, oh, there's a guy at the door, pop them, switch back over, pop them, and then you want to listen at the same time, because somebody could come through this door. Okay, so every now and then, that's why you don't want to stand too close to the windows all the time. Like, when I'm looking at the door, I want to be like right up against this rail here. Just like that right there. And they only have two ways to come in here. It's that door right there is the most popular way, or right through the center here. And if you can stay right here, they generally won't see you coming through that way. You can see them first. They have to come up the stairs if they want to get to you like that. The only real way they could get to you is if they ran through that door, ran over here, looked up under the rail. That's not, generally that never happens. But yeah, you can easily get a chopper in this building like this. And that's the spot for pipeline. Now, let's see. Shipment on free-for-all is just chaos. There's not really any, I mean, every spot is a spawn camping spot. So just basically sit still. Wherever you spawn at on Shipment, sit still and look. And that's basically the best tip I have to tell you for Shipment. I mean, that's, a lot of it comes down to luck. Showdown. There's not really, what you want to do is find a good spot at the doorways on the outer side. The two main hallways that go to each side and both connect towards the center. You want to find a good way so that way you can catch people coming around the corner on the edges and coming through those hallways. Strike, I already showed you in the free-for-all game, that balcony, how I was moving from right to left. That's the spot for strike. Vacant, yeah, there's one spot on vacant I'll show you. Most people know this spot already.
Free for all. Take no prisoners, comrades.
So most people already know this spot, but I'm going to show you anyway. And it's right over here. Right here. And you want to be this is one of the few spots you actually want to be standing for. You don't want to get all the way up against this edge like this. If it says press X to mantle or press A to mantle, that's too close. You want to back away till it doesn't say that. And what I do is I like to stare. See these two barrels right here? There's that, through that pallet. You want to stare right there. And that lets you see if anybody's running to the left or running to the right. You can even kill people through that. I've killed people through that right there with the M16 or a really accurate assault rifle. You can kill them through that. You can see where they're going. If somebody comes around this tanker, which they do from time to time, you can easily, you're covered. I mean, basically, the only thing they can hit is your head. Deep impact won't go through this. It's concrete slab, so it can't go through that. So they have like your head and your shoulders to hit. You have their whole body coming around that corner. You can easily pick them off. Now with this spot, you just wanna listen for anything to your left on this side. If you hear something, what I like to do is I'll pop around and I'll look. I'll pop around and I'll look to this door. Somebody will come running through that out of that hangar right there, and so they do, you got them. Or they'll come try to run in or out of that door right there, and you easily get them like that. Most of the time, you'll get at least an airstrike or a pretty good, decent kill streak right here. People come, running up, sometimes even on this platform, and they'll like try to run this way, and you'll usually catch them like right here or right there. This is a good spot for vacant. It's really the only decent spot on vacant that I found on free for all. So we about went through all the maps, I think. There might be a few more, but I know there's not that many more. Wet work, there's not really one for that. I mean, it's a pretty small map, so not really a good spot for that. Winter crash, I already showed you the crash spot. Daybreak, I already showed you the downpour spots, exact same thing. Beach bog, I already showed you the bog spot, but with beach bog, it's a little, I mean, that window's sealed off. That's the only difference. You know how it's back in that corner at the crate? Well, that window in the middle of that wall is sealed off. That's the only difference with beach bog. Everything else is exactly the same. It works exactly the same. So I've showed you all the real tricks of the maps on free-for-all, and now I'm going to try to see if I can put some of them to the test here by jumping in the game. And I'll show you if I can demonstrate that. Crash. Okay, so I'm going to try this out. We're in the middle of the game, though. It might be almost over. Who knows? But I'll try it.
Free for all. Let's do this, Marines.
See that?
UAV recon standing by. Enemy helicopter inbound. Airstrike standing by. Friendly airstrike on the way.
The chopper got me.
They stole my spot.
UAV recon standing by. Our UAV is online. We're losing this fight. UAV recon standing by. Enemy helicopter inbound. Our UAV is online. UAV is online.
Wow, shot me through the wall. Enemy helicopter inbound. We're losing this side. UAV recon standing by. Our UAV is online.
Airstrike on the way. Enemy helicopter inbound. This is the last chance. UAV recon standing by. Our UAV is online. UAV recon standing by. Our UAV is online. UAV recon standing by. Our UAV is online. Enemy helicopter inbound. Airstrike standing by.
Damn, there's only 4 of us.
Let's do this, Marines.
It's gonna be a long game if there's only 4 of us.
Standing by. Our UAV is online. by. Our UAV is online. Airstrike standing by. Friendly airstrike on the way. Helicopter support standing by. Friendly chopper on the way. Enemy helicopter inbound. UAV recon standing by. Our UAV is online. This is our last chance.
And there you have it, guys. Luckily, every map that we got on was an actual map that had one of those spots I was telling you about, so that worked out perfect. And, you know, as you saw, that last one there at Backlot, it started out a little slow because we only had 4 people. And for those spots really to work, it has to be a full game, or like 7, excuse me there, yawn a little bit. It has to be like 7 or 8 people in the game in order for most of them to work the way that they're supposed to. With 4 people, it won't put you that close to another player, especially if there's only 4 people in the game. But you saw how effective most of the spots were. There's a couple times that I got killed in those spots. That will happen from time to time. I mean, nothing's perfect. It's not like you're hacking or anything where you can't die or anything like that. But, and you might not even win. You know, you noticed I didn't win every single game, but I went 20-4 or 23-5 or 21-8, and I was doing really good. I had like the best kill death ratio in every single game. And you see my average KD is 1.39, and that just keeps creeping up. The more and more I play free for all, the higher and higher it gets. The only reason it isn't higher is because I tend to play like slasher, where, you know, you don't really kill anybody. You usually just get stabbed and that's it. I play a lot of slasher and surge and stuff like that, where you're obviously going to die a lot more often, but um, I showed you how dominant the M16 was also, if you watched that. 1 to 2 shots, unless they had Juggernaut. There was, like I said, a lot of people have started using Juggernaut. That's actually the best counter to the M16, so if you get in the game and like everybody's using the M16, that's a pretty good counter for it, because it makes them have to shoot you at least twice if you have Juggernaut on, so that's about the only counter to it. Well, you know, a lot of people won't use Juggernaut. Most people use stopping power like I do. Every now and then you'll shoot somebody who'll have Juggernaut. You'll just have to shoot them a couple extra times. But I hope these tips and tricks will help you in the future. Should help you, you know, perform better, especially in free for all. But in any game mode, we're going back to our classes here. Just to run back over. That's my chopper down class. Shoot choppers down. Shotgun, sniping, AK-74U, which you just saw in that last game. I went 20 and 4 with the AK-74U, the M4, MP5, and the M16. Hope this video helped you guys out. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos in the future. I'll be playing this game for quite a bit. This is what I've been playing mostly for the last couple of weeks, and you know, I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, so I'm sure I'll still be playing and posting more videos. Till then, you guys take care. Peace out.